Listen 3000.
Yo, welcome to Listen 3000. We're back again with episode 8. Right?
Yeah.
Episode 8?
Wow. Look at us go. Look at us go.
Yeah. So, we have a very special guest in the building.
Yes.
We have Vin.
Everyone give it up for
Yeah. Yeah. Vin is a writer from My Cosmic Circus.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pleasure to have him in here today to talk to us
excited.
and pod with us today.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to be here, man. I love the show. Love you guys.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much,
it,
man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're excited to just get into it and hear your thoughts on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just so people know a little bit about you, you want to give a little of a background there?
Sure. So my name's Vin. I'm a writer for the Cosmic Circus. I've been with Lizzie and the site since we started in July, and it's been really amazing because before that we're all just like fans, just like you guys, and then you probably know from starting your podcast when you launch an endeavor like that quickly, you start thinking about these shows differently, because you don't just look at them like as a fan, but you also think, what can I analyze about it? What neat things can I find about it? What things can I theorize? What can I share? And you build a community around that. You build your followers. You get to meet other podcasters or other writers. So it's so incredible for us to go from July to now April. Pretty soon it'll be a year. And it's just amazing how much we've grown and how we've connected. And, I get to meet people like you guys. So it's really amazing, the community that we can build. And it's just so exciting to now make these connections and get to meet people like you. And I guess, this wider audience that you're reaching, and then you guys will meet the audience I'm reaching.
Yep.
I don't know,
Come together.
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah,
Mutual,
it's
man.
good. It's good to be here. So I think these guys mainly invited me because I love Blade. I love the Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
I love the supernatural, and I love the potential for that right now in the MCU.
It's so exciting.
So I'm really excited to get into that with you guys.
Okay.
What really drew me to your site was a couple of weeks ago, you had a video where you're talking about the Darkhold, and you're talking about your theories for what could happen with it. When it opens and unleashes all the monsters, and Doctor Strange too. So that's my theory too. That's what I hope happens. No scoop. I don't know for sure. Who knows what happens actually?
Right.
Every day we hear different things, but when you guys both said that, Cesar said it, ZENN said it, and I've been thinking it too, and I just felt like we clicked. Like these guys think the same thing I think. I want to meet them, and I want to talk to them and share our theories with the world and figure out what we can come up with.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. That's why we're all family now.
Sure,
We're all gang.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. But yeah, since you want to get into that, I guess we'll start off with the most recent stuff and then get into everything that
Right.
you love. So
So
you
of
want to
course,
talk about the most recent
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. So of course we got episode 3 of Moon Knight,
Yep.
and
Yes,
it was
sir.
awesome,
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah, it's such a good show. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I mean, this episode finally has us in Egypt, and it was a lot that happened.
Yeah, like I don't even really know how to start with it, to be honest. Did you guys have a favorite part of the episode, maybe? Like, is there anything that stuck out to you?
It was a few for me. Like I love the banter between Steven and Mark.
Me too.
How they kind of sprinkled
You
that through the
stole
episode.
mine.
Even in the one part when they were fighting all the guys at the end, and then like Steven was trying to calm everybody down. I was like, yo, they start stabbing him, and he was like, Mark, come back.
He was like, I don't like it out here. Yep.
So funny. I think my favorite thing about the show overall, hands down, is how they do Moon Knight. There's so many great things that I love, but from episode 2, episode 3, when you see classic Moon Knight, when he's running across the rooftop or he's kicking their ass in Egypt, that blew my mind. Like that is, I don't know, across all Marvel, all superhero stuff, I don't know. I feel like that is somehow something about it just feels so right and so iconic that this is exactly what I saw in the comic book. I don't know what about it makes it feel so right, but it's like, that's Moon Knight. That's it. Done. And it's just so perfect how they do the Moon Knight action. I love it.
No, I super agree. Honestly, y'all both kind of stole mine. Because first you stole what I was going to say. And then, no. But because just to piggyback off of the action scenes, specifically in this episode, like I already was sold, like we all were watching the first 2 episodes. Like specifically with when he's Moon Knight and just his banter going back and forth with Steven and Mark. But now when you saw them all kind of, like you said, like kind of in a more fluent way, like going throughout, like flipping characters, and just the way that he was fighting this time, like actually using all of his abilities, I was like, oh, he is different. Like, oh, like I don't think Marvel's really had a character specifically like this at all.
Nah,
like
for
in
sure.
the MCU,
in the MCU, Because like literally, I'm watching this episode and I'm just like seeing everything that's happening. I get to like closer to the end of the episode, I'm thinking like, yo, this is making the MCU so much bigger. Like the things that they're touching on, the different gods, and just Moon Knight in general. Like he's such a different character than we've seen before. Like, and I feel like by this episode, you really understand that.
That's exactly
You
what
know
I
what I
mean.
mean?
Yep.
You're
By
like,
the end, by certain scenes, I was just like, oh, this is what this was building. Okay, I get it now.
Right,
you know
right,
what I
right,
mean?
right. So I'm so excited to see where we go further, and even past Moon Knight. Like, where is he gonna go?
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, because they get, every character that they use most likely is going to end up being in the big level events. You know what I'm saying? That's like obvious. It's just a part of what it is. But to see specifically where these darker characters are going to go, they're going to have to make something that we've really never seen before.
Right.
It's going to be so much fun when you have like a big lineup of a bunch of heroes like fighting. And then you see Moon Knight just flipping between personalities like that.
Right.
I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. That's what I can't wait for those moments, man.
That's gonna be insane. I'm so excited to see like his interactions with other characters.
Oh my god.
Because I know we all see those like the comic strips like the people post online, like the jokes and stuff, him going back and forth between different people.
Right.
Like I can't wait to see like what Marvel uses in live action.
Like, versions of that.
Like
true.
Is he gonna be as like witty? Between,
of course he is,
different characters. You know what I mean? Like, I'm excited.
Have you guys ever read any Moon Knight comics?
I recently went and read the Jeff Lemire run. Like when after the first episode came on, I had to go and find it. So I went and found it online and checked it out. And it's crazy to me now, like seeing more episodes, how much of it they're pulling and how they're taking pieces and elements of it and changing it, but it's still like an Easter egg and a callback to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I love too. Well, so first, comic shout out. At the Cosmic Circus, I do these reading guides. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do these reading guides. So if you want to start with Lemire, I have a special reading guide for Moon Knight in the 2000s.
Okay.
If you want to go to the old school stuff, I have Moon Knight from 75 to 2000, from 1975 to 2000. So that's like old Moon Knight and then modern Moon Knight.
Okay.
Right now, it seems like the show's taking a lot from Lemire, which is the modern Moon Knight stuff. So maybe we could like link those below or something, so people can find them.
For sure.
But one of my favorite things about the show is how they're going to new territory already. I mean, from episode 1 they did new stuff. Then episode 3, I haven't read every Moon Knight comic ever, but I've never seen the Ennead and these avatars used like this. And like I don't even know if they exist in the comics. Where you have like this pantheon of Egyptian gods, and each one has their special person. I've never heard of that in the comics. Maybe it's there, and cool. I've just missed it. But I feel like the show is already charting new canon and new territory, pushing the envelope for Moon Knight.
Yep.
More than, it's almost 50 years at this point, I think. And now the show is already, all right, what's next? And they're already pushing the envelope. Like, and the comics, when you read it, there's no really clear difference between Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, between their personalities. It's just maybe they function a little differently, but they're both called Mark.
Right.
One isn't British, one isn't American. It's just Mark, and he's wearing a different thing.
Right.
But here, it's like the show is clearly saying, no, this is Steven, this is Mark, and they communicate with these reflections. That's not in the comic either.
Wow.
So the show is creating so much new language and so much new canon. I'm so excited about that because it rocks. It's a different 100%. Take on Moon Knight, but it's a good take on Moon Knight, and it's expanding, and it's not taking away from what we love from the comics. It's just adding to everything. I love it, man. It's such a good show.
Nah,
see, that's a great point, man. Because it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes we forget that they always like will level up each time. With Marvel, you know what I mean? And then you see something like this, and it's like, well, I've really never seen anything like this before. And each episode is just giving you exactly what you said, just more of like, especially coming from someone like you who knows the actual comics. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you're getting everything that you need as a comic lover for Moon Knight specifically, and you're getting new stuff that makes sense as well. It's just like the writing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the way that they're portraying the show. It's
Yeah.
just I don't know how they're gonna.
Right.
And it goes beyond the writing. It's the direction too, man. This
Agreed.
Mohammed Diab, bro, the Egyptian influences, the Arabic influences. My family's Muslim, and so I growing up, I hear Arabic sometimes.
Right.
Like when you go to the masjid, you go to the mosque, you hear Arabic, and I don't understand Arabic, but I know the flavor, I know the language, I know the rhythm, and when I'm watching this show, this like mass audience show that's going around the world,
Right.
probably millions of people are watching it, and they're playing Arabic hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's the coolest thing
It
too.
is,
It's
yo.
so cool.
Yep.
Wow.
this is the audience that watched Iron Man 2008,
Right.
and they're watching this Arabic hip hop,
Yeah.
and I love it, and people love it. I can't believe the show is real and it's as good as it is. I honestly, it's one of the most special things I think Marvel's ever made.
I
It's
agree.
so fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think it's even just gonna. I'm not saying that things are gonna be better than it, but like I think they're just gonna go up from here with like Miss Marvel show coming out, and I feel like they're gonna have a bunch of and Ironheart for like just different cultures being portrayed so well. I think we even got a bit of it for like a black culture with help me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just like certain scenes, it feels so
just
exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
So
sure.
the way that they're just perfecting this, and they're gonna keep going with more budgets, and better and bigger actors, it's just insane.
Yeah.
How it's just gonna keep going.
And behind the camera, the exposure, like, so you get Mohammed Diab, who's an Egyptian director. He's bringing then all his Egyptian crew with him. He's bringing his Egyptian composer. He's bringing his Egyptian editor.
I love that.
His wife is the one picking all these music, all these sound.
That's
pieces.
so cool.
So, if they never picked this guy, if they gave it to someone else, you wouldn't get any of that. You wouldn't get this love for Egypt and Egyptian culture. But that's now what's making Moon Knight so special. Like in the comics, he's never, the Egypt ties are there, but I think he's only ever had one Egyptian writer, and it was just for one issue.
Wow.
It's normally just like Egypt is just like a background detail, kind of, or they're playing with Egyptian things, but they're not coming from the Egyptian culture. They're just toys. But now you have a guy who knows Egypt and he loves Egypt, and he's infusing it with that and sharing it to say, look, Egypt rocks.
Yep.
And we watched that and we're like, hey, Egypt's cool. Let me learn more about Egypt.
Right.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful thing.
It's magic. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's so dope. We've seen it time and time again when like Marvel has been like willing to like embrace so many creators from different cultures and backgrounds, and being able to like expose so many different people on this major stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what you were saying, like how he brought like the Egyptian crew and stuff like that. Like that's gonna only help that community rise. You know what I mean?
Bigger
like
and bigger.
continue to get
Already
bigger names,
on
'cause
the forefront.
I have Marvel on my resume. I can do bigger things now. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like so like it's just such a dope thing, and it's dope that you look at. I don't see anybody else doing this as far as like
companies
studios and
and-
stuff
yeah,
like that.
at
Like,
all.
they
At
continue
all.
to like give
Push the
creators
envelope.
of color and just other creators in different backgrounds chances to show and display their vision in a what I'm gonna say, authentic in a helpful way. You know what I mean? So it can translate and so many people can understand it.
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing.
My friend Ahmed, he did an interview with Muhammad a couple of weeks ago, like right when the show was coming out. He did one of the very first interviews with him, and the whole thing was in Arabic, but you can use Google Translate. And Diab had this great quote, and he's like something like every culture should be represented by its owners, or something like that. Like other people can portray your culture, but it really should be in the hands of the people it belongs to.
Always.
And I'll have to find like the exact quote. It's something similar to that, but like that really stuck with me. That, like,
No, yeah.
Ownership of where you come from. And I'm just really happy that Marvel and Kevin Feige, they didn't have to, but they did.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's just like they could easily just go and do whatever they, you know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever they wanted to do, and the fact that they just keep pushing the envelope and keep trying to give light to everyone. It seems, you know what I mean? And just and elevated every time. It's like it's just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what it's going to be like 10 years from now, like who they're representing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Or it's just super
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm curious though. Is there any criticisms you guys have of the show? Is there any negatives you have?
I'm looking at ZENN. I really don't.
I
yet,
don't. To
at
be
all.
honest with you, so far it's been awesome. Like from everything, from the way it's been directed to the acting to the, it's.
To be honest, and it
can't say
keeps
anything
getting
bad.
better every episode. So for me personally, like the first episode, I was already, we're Marvel fans. I was gonna watch anything they dropped either way, right? So it doesn't matter. But the first episode, I was like, this is really good. I can't wait to the next one. But I think a part of me was like jealous we didn't get 2 eps. You know what I mean? Like just because you got a little bit of what you thought you were going to get in the trailer, but you still got stuff you weren't expecting. You know what I mean? But I still feel like I need a little more. Then the second episode came, and I was like, all right, I'm here. I'm keep watching either way. Remember? But I'm excited now. This episode, it doesn't matter what they do.
For me, I'm a little bit unimpressed with kind of the plotting of it.
Okay.
It feels like we're on like a series of like fetch quests. Like we have to get the Scarab. Okay, now the Scarab god is here, and we have to follow him here. And then now, I couldn't even tell you. I think what the next step of the adventure is now. But I don't know. For me, the plot feels kind of basic. Like just take us through the motions. While the direction is so strong, while we're getting to know Mark and Steven and Layla, and so it feels more like it's about the direction, it's about the character, and it's the culture, and less about the plot. The plot just really isn't interesting to me.
Right. I actually never looked at it like that, but now that you say that, it makes me more excited to see what everyone's saying about this 4th episode.
Episode 4.
Yeah, because maybe that. Maybe it's almost that way on purpose so that it flips you and then, now I'm just excited to see what that'll be if it shifts the entire show.
A couple critics actually got access to episode 5.
I heard that.
Including Lizzie, our head editor.
Wow.
Okay.
So she loved it. She said it's the best episode.
Oh,
wow.
So
okay.
She hasn't told me any details, and I want zero. I want no spoilers. I want nothing.
Me too.
Okay.
But I'm just excited that the show is getting better as it goes.
Me too.
Yeah. Same.
You're funny too. Real quick, because while you were like, I don't want any spoilers, I'm like, yeah, me too. He was like, oh, okay. Like you're ready for him. He's like, you got anything? Just a little bit, just a taste of it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm so excited like you. And to hear that, it makes me feel so much better that the 5th one probably even elevates what everyone is saying about the 4th. You know what I mean? Oh man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how these shows are only 6 episodes and we get so much.
Yeah.
It's like a movie every episode.
Is this the first one that's been super consistent with the time length on each episode? Because I want to say each one
show-wise,
has
like the full show,
be like 45, 50 minutes long so far.
I don't know. After WandaVision, I stopped keeping track.
Yeah.
WandaVision, everyone was crazy, like down to the minute. How long is this?
Oh
one?
yeah,
no, that's true.
That's true.
Sure. That's because
we're
just fiends. We want it so bad.
Right.
After that, I think they've all been consistently, like 40, 45, something like that.
Yeah, because like every episode, like when it gets to the end, because sometimes a lot goes on and I'm like, damn, that was it. I'm never like that. Like at least with these past with episode 3, I'm like,
I agree.
All right, this was enough.
Wow, that's a good point.
I can figure out what's going on, and then now I'm curious to see what's gonna happen.
Now I'm with you. Most of the time, it's either like, okay, like they gave it enough, or maybe it's like, oh, I could have got a little more from some. No, you're right. This time I'm like, all right, I'm full by the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just excited to see where the show goes.
Yeah, same here.
Next. But now that since we're on some dark stuff, and I know you want to get into the, you know what I mean. So I guess let's just get off Moon Knight a little bit. But besides the theory that we all are linking on together, right, where we think that the Darkhold is going to unleash everything, let alone the darker characters and darker creatures. But do you think that there's anything else that the Darkhold is about to do besides just like, unleash these characters?
Things, right?
Specifically in Doctor Strange?
I wanted to ask you, like, we have the Darkhold in play. Right. Now we have Moon Knight. We know we're getting Blade. We know we're getting Werewolf by Night.
Right.
Do you think the Darkhold is like some type of strand that's tying a lot of these darker characters together? Like knowing what we know about from the comic books. Do you think Marvel's going to play that in the MCU?
Yeah, I hope so. I have all these theories, and like most of them I try to publish on the site, so I try to get it out there. But there's some theories sometimes that there's just not enough evidence yet for me to publish. So
Right.
they just kind of stay in my head. So
Right.
that one I wrote about it a bit. I had when I did the article saying that I heard that Blade was going to be in Werewolf by Night.
Mhm.
Right.
And that one I wrote a whole paragraph or two talking about how the Darkhold could be their connection.
Right.
Because like the Darkhold is what unleashes werewolves. It has a huge connection to Jack Russell, Werewolf by Night. His whole family has this huge, going back to his grandfather, his father. They're the people who found the Darkhold. They kind of brought it to America.
Wow.
And
I did not know that.
in fact, in one of the earliest Werewolf by Night issues, one of the very, very earliest ones, he finds his grandfather's diary, and hidden in the diary is the curse to kill all vampires.
Wow.
And so that maybe you've heard there's like a crossover, Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula.
Uh-huh.
So that's why Dracula comes to beef with him. Because he's like, hey man, you can't have that spell. I got to destroy that spell.
Right.
Right.
So, and the Darkhold premiered, it debuted, it was created in a Werewolf by Night issue.
This
Okay.
makes so much
So
sense.
listen to this, like Werewolf by Night is where you get the Darkhold, and it's also where you get Moon Knight.
Right.
Both of those guys come from Werewolf by Night. And Werewolf by Night then crosses over with Tomb of Dracula. Tomb of Dracula is where Blade debuted. So all these guys, like going back to the 70s, they're all so tightly connected.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I got. Sorry,
yeah.
not to interrupt you, because I just got questions now. Oh man, because you just broke a whole new. All right.
Right.
Because remember, this isn't after Doctor Strange. I feel like we're gonna get the Darkhold for sure because of one, just Doctor Strange's character, how close he's connected to that, and also the WandaVision thing, right?
Yeah.
But after this, we don't really know how they're going to specifically use the Darkhold next, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
because
do you-
I like not to
wait a
cut you
minute.
off.
Okay,
but I was gonna
bring it
add,
on.
just add on to this.
Right.
Like, because people have heard about like rumors and what they think is gonna happen in Doctor
Right.
Strange, and it's theories out there. People think the Darkhold might be destroyed at the end.
Mhm.
So I'm just wondering, like,
That's what you.
based
Yeah,
on
you're getting into what
like,
I was about to
you're
say.
saying,
Yep.
like, how could they do that and still have these dark characters around? Like, it got to be
Something has
some
to
type
continue
of-
somehow, right?
No, for
So
sure.
I was gonna say, do y'all think that Agatha's show has anything to do with what we're talking about right now, or they're just not even gonna go back to what that was? Because then she kind of
she's in.
The
I mean,
Darkhold,
she's
right?
all with that in the mix.
She was
She
using the
had
book.
the Darkhold, correct?
Right,
In
yeah, that's what I
WandaVision,
was-
That's where Wanda. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so
where
I
Wanda got it
don't-
from.
I don't know a lot yet about Agatha from the comics. I've never dived into her character yet. When we get closer to it, for sure, I'll do like an Agatha reading guide, and then I'll dive deep and I'll research. For
Right.
now, I don't know a lot about her. I can only speculate, and so I think from WandaVision, we get that flashback to like the Salem witch trials or whatever.
yes.
So my guess, I don't know. I think the Agatha show could give us a bit of history, like the history of dark magic in the MCU.
That would be so dope.
That'd be lit.
Yeah.
And honestly, that would connect. We're all theorizing here, but that could easily connect into Werewolf by Night from what you're saying, and Moon Knight. Like that could easily
And
just.
Blade and all that
You never
stuff.
know. Like
Yeah.
that could just pop up. That could be how Midnight Suns somehow forms. You know what I mean? The
And then
start
give
of
you
it.
more background on like
Exactly,
why
where it came from and why they're together.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be dope.
So just to get everything clear, I guess what we're theorizing is at the end of Doctor Strange 2. Well, so first Doctor Strange probably Wanda's probably possessed by the Darkhold somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And then at the end of the movie, maybe it gets destroyed. I don't know. I feel like it would be a waste if it gets destroyed.
Yeah.
Good point.
One thing too is in the comics, there's sort of one Darkhold, but really there's just a lot of copies because it's so old.
Right.
I mean, if you in my Darkhold reading guide, I talked about the history of it, but it's so old that there's like a bunch of just copies and dummy Darkholds kind of hidden throughout the comics.
Right.
So you think one guy has the real Darkhold, but then someone else has it, or there's like two versions, or it's incomplete.
Right.
So I mean, you could even say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon because they have one copy of the Darkhold, but then WandaVision has another copy. Why
Right.
not? The comics did it.
Right.
True.
No, that's true.
That's a good point.
So I think even if they destroy it, Doctor Strange 2, there could still be another Darkhold out there.
Yeah, that's true.
No, right.
That's true.
Yeah, and so but I do think the Darkhold will help unleash dark monsters.
Oh, that's for sure.
And in the 80s, Doctor Strange, it's a story called the Montesi formula, or Montesi, I'm not sure. There, Doctor Strange uses the Darkhold to kill all vampires, just exterminate all of them at once, like that. So that could be something the MCU builds up to, maybe.
Right.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
then that's definitely just wondering if like what happens after that. Do they ever come back? Like what is the next?
Yeah, so that was the 80s.
But that's why
Yeah,
I'm
they come back.
I'm only asking. I'm like I'm only wondering because like is that how maybe they'll do it and make Blade beef with somebody in something like that, or like I wonder what MCU would do with a thing like that.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, there's two parts. So the first part, there's the Montesi formula in the 80s, where he kills all vampires. Then, sort of without explanation, they start coming back slowly anyways. Just because, comics, you have Blade needs to fight someone.
That's what I'm...
Right.
So they start coming back slowly. You see that in the Midnight Suns in the 90s. Then, by the 2000s, there's a great Blade run by Mark Guggenheim, who did Arrow.
That's why I knew the name. Okay, cool.
He does a really great run where, like Arrow, he flashes back to Blade's origins. So you see present Blade, you see childhood Blade.
Right.
So that's my number one Blade recommended reading.
Okay.
But at the end of that, Dracula, he tricks Blade into a ritual. And that ritual is called the Tyranna Prophecy. And what this ritual does, it resurrects all vampires who died.
Wow.
And that's how it ends. So me, in my crazy brain, I see this as the Blade movie could do that. 100%. And at the Blade movie ends like with an Infinity War style snap, where the Blade movie ends. He's trying to take down Dracula. He has like all his teammates, Black Knight, whatever, with him. The movie ends with all the vampires just coming back to life. Then that could launch us into the whole Midnight Suns era, where now they're trying to take down all these monsters that have been unleashed.
That'd be so perfect. Honestly, while you were saying it, I thought exactly what you were saying by the end. I was like, I don't even, Yep.
So these are like the crazy theories like I have in my head. Some of them I try to write down. Some of them I'm still, trying to suss it out and trying to see if there's evidence for it yet.
Yeah.
Because, we don't want to put a theory out there without having enough evidence.
Right.
For sure.
But so this is just me just speculating as a fan, right?
Oh, I feel like you spot on. You better go talk to Kevin.
I hope so.
If you're not spot on, they better talk to you to figure it out. They better switch something. Because that would be perfect, honestly.
Yeah. I know we were just talking a few days ago about how like we really think that they're gonna be using Blade and Moon Knight and Werewolf by Night way more than we might suspect they will going forward. Because like these characters are pretty complex, like especially at least 100%. Moon Knight is so far from what we've seen. They're like he's extremely complex. He's a real good character, and by the reaction of the fans, like it seems like everybody loves.
Right, they're not just gonna leave them to the side.
Like based on your knowledge from comic books, like what do you hope to see with these darker characters, like, even if it's Midnight Suns or just like somebody your favorite that you want to see on the big screen. What do you think, what would be a favorite thing that you want to see done in live action form?
So like I said, I'd really love to see the vampire resurrections. Because like at this point, Blade will be about, if they go by the comics, Blade's about 100 because he was born in the 1920s.
Right.
Okay.
So imagine 100 years of killing vampires. This man's getting old. He's tired, and he's done his work, and then it gets undone, and he has to recruit friends. Like, come on, guys, let's do this. So I'd like to see that. Another thing I think would be really cool. Where to go? So let's start with this. In Eternals, there was a reference to Excalibur.
Yeah,
Did you guys catch that?
Yes, I remember that.
So in the comics, Excalibur is important for Blade because, number one, it has the power to kill Dracula.
I didn't know that specifically.
There's a series called Captain Britain and the MI-13. It's a team of all British superheroes. Blade is on it because Blade is British. And in the very end, there's a huge vampire war. It's a really, really great story.
Wow.
So I'd recommend that to your viewers.
For sure.
It's called Captain Britain and the MI-13 Vampire State.
Oh, okay.
It has Blade. It has Blade. It has Black Knight. It has a huge vampire story. Dracula has a secret base on the moon. Doctor Doom makes some cameos.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's crazy. So in that you have Excalibur, and Excalibur kills Dracula. Wow. So that's something I think we could maybe see in the MCU because now they've established Excalibur and Blade in the same movie.
Yep.
Secondly, there's been a Blade casting call for a character named Fiza. Fiza is the name of the character who wields Excalibur, and she's Black Knight's girlfriend.
Oh.
So that I don't know, because casting calls are usually a fake name.
True.
But if this is the real Fiza Hussein from the comics, then we could be getting Excalibur wielded by Black Knight's girlfriend, Fiza Hussein, who's an awesome Muslim hero, and Blade. So that would be super cool.
That'd be amazing.
Cool. Wow,
awesome. What else? I mentioned in, I think, my Legion of Monsters article, I talked about Deadpool's Monster Wars, his monster marriage. Did you guys read that? Do you know about it?
No, I do not know.
Okay,
so I want to say I've heard of it, but I didn't check it out.
In the 2000s, a guy named Jerry Guggen, great writer, he did this arc of Deadpool, where Deadpool he steals Dracula's fiance. He would do that. So you have this monster girl named Shikla, and she's supposed to marry Dracula, and she falls in love with Deadpool instead.
Oh my god!
So that launches a huge monster war, and it is so funny. Sense. It's so hilarious. The Legion of Monsters make cameos. Blade makes cameos.
That's fire.
But because he's Deadpool, the marriage falls apart.
Of course.
So then they divorce, and that causes another series of monster wars.
Oh wow!
So with all the stuff going on with monsters and Dracula and Deadpool 3, that is something I would love to see in Deadpool 3. I would love if Deadpool 3 tracked Deadpool's crazy monster marriage.
That would be, again, you're gonna need to write a letter to Kevin. I don't know what else to tell you.
No, that's awesome,
like
man.
These. Honestly, even going back to the one you said right before the Captain Britain. That could really pop up sooner than that could possibly pop up soon.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of I heard come on, give it to me, brain. Secret Invasion is about to have a character. I know the actress. I don't know who she's playing though, but they said that she's basically about to be like the Nick Fury for this is a rumor, but a Nick Fury for the British superheroes.
Oh, really?
Like what is it called again? M13?
Captain Britain and MI13. MI6. MI13.
Yes. I just heard all of those characters are literally about to pop up after Secret Invasion through this specific character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool,
you
man.
didn't hear that? No, I wanted some stuff. I forget. Man, I might need to look it up, her name. But yeah, whoever that character is, I just feel like that's an easy connection to everything you were just saying, specifically with Blade and all these things. Isn't Blade probably coming out next year? So like I could see a connection there, honestly.
I know I'm always like looking at Marvel, like I feel like they be pump faking. They pump fake a lot of characters that I be like waiting, like yo.
Really, you think they pump fake a lot?
Bro, I feel like all right. I feel like it's been mad times they could have brought the X-Men in. It's been mad times.
No, don't do that because the whole Fox thing that don't count.
Nah, but they've had the rights for now for 2 years.
Yeah, but
I mean, I know. Feige said his 5-year thing. Like you're not gonna get the mutants until 5 years. I get it, but
you know things like in WandaVision, the first thing in Phase 4, WandaVision, it had Sword. Sword belongs to Fox.
That's true.
That's true.
So
that's true.
So they are giving us the Fox stuff, just in a weird way.
Just not the way we want it yet. Yeah, I feel you. No, but keep saying. Well, I feel like you were getting to something.
No, I just pump faking little things like who else? I've been wanting Nova. We talked about that before. Like I wanted Nova for a long time.
They do pump fake with Nova.
And it felt like we could have had Nova a long time ago, but now we're finally getting it. Of course.
Why do they do that? That's mean.
I don't know. But
I do like that they set up Nova in like Infinity War. They just destruction of Xandar.
Yeah.
But it's been so long.
Right. It's like you forget they even did that.
Man.
Yes.
That was pre-pandemic. That was
another
life.
For real.
No, that's right.
Oh man, it literally was a whole nother life. That's crazy. Man, now I'm sad. I don't want them to keep pump faking characters like that.
I mean,
I think about it even with
get them, but it's just like.
Sure. I mean, not always. Not when it comes to like Spider-Man pump fakes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we're gonna get Donald Glover as
Prowler.
I'm gonna need it, but I don't know if they're gonna listen. They might. Hopefully.
I bet they're gonna do Miles at some point. I don't know. There'd be all kinds of wrong if they didn't do Miles.
Oh
at some
no,
point,
they're
right?
definitely doing Miles. They
Yeah.
have to do Miles. I just feel like, do you think they would continue specifically off of that? You know what I'm
Right,
trying to
right,
say?
right,
I
right.
feel like they would. I feel like that
Mm.
Marvel's really good about doubling back to the Easter eggs that they planted.
Yeah.
Oh,
whether
that's
whether
true.
they're continuing
true.
that or they're like subverting it.
Oh,
You know,
always. I
if you
agree.
think about like the fake Infinity Gauntlet from Thor,
Right, from
or
Thor,
if
yeah.
you think about the Mandarin from Iron Man 3, like Marvel doesn't forget their stuff.
That's true.
Sometimes they might
always come
ignore
back.
it, but usually they come back and either they say, "Oh, that was a joke," or "Let's
Yes.
build on that."
Let's build
So-
on it. It's
Right.
true.
So
Only
I
reason
feel
I'm
like
scared is
when they
because it's
do
Sony.
Miles, what was that?
I'm only scared because it's Sony.
Oh, anything spider related.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's the only because I believe. Oh, Kevin, you got it.
No,
Anything
right.
he's doing,
I'm
exactly what you
trusting
said.
Kevin, that's
But
all.
the minute you put them in there, I was like, I don't know. It can end up being like. It can end up. I don't know who it's gonna be. It can end up being Soldier Boy being the Prowler. I
Look,
don't
man.
know.
You guys asked what I want to see the MCU. One thing on my list that I wrote down for real,
Uh-huh.
good Morbius movie.
Uh,
Because let me tell you, listen. Because what have we been talking about today? We have Midnight Suns,
yes.
and I've been talking about the Legion of Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf by Night is a bigger part of the Legion of Monsters than he is the Midnight Suns.
Mm.
And Morbius is a huge part of both.
Wow.
Right.
And I feel like the Legion of Monsters is such a fun group. And you even have the Living Mummy who could have connections to Moon Knight.
Wow.
So I feel like
Sick.
the Legion of Monsters could be coming up, and Morbius belongs on that team. The Midnight Suns are coming up. I think Morbius belongs on that team. Morbius belongs in the MCU.
See,
Yeah.
wait, hold on.
And-
Oh, you're giving me questions. Keep going. I'm sorry. I can just keep getting questions.
He's such a cool character because you read his comics, half of them are sometimes, they kind of make fun of him and how ridiculous he is.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes he's played genuinely tragic.
Mm.
I've recently been reading Morbius 1992,
Okay.
which is the series that connects with the Midnight Suns.
Okay.
And there, in issue 1, you have the scene where he bites his girlfriend, and in the comic book he does it in issue 1, and it's so tragic
Wow.
because like she's dying, and like he knows he doesn't want to, but he can't control the urge,
Mm.
and he just does it, and there's so much pain, but then he gets up and he doesn't exactly feel bad about it because he feels energized from the blood.
Right.
Right.
Wow. See, yeah,
And
that can
it-
be deep.
And it's so deep and
Yeah.
so tragic. I'm like, why the hell is this Morbius comic so good?
Right.
Right. And then
And
they got this movie.
Yeah, and of this Midnight Sun stuff, I'm reading through it now. Morbius is genuinely probably my favorite title
Wow.
from these Midnight Suns crossovers so
Mhm.
far. And I'm just like, you see this movie, and it's like you don't know anything. You've done such a disservice to what you could have done with this character.
Yeah.
Why did you bother, like, playing this
touching
lip
it.
service
Right.
when there's so much here you could have genuinely brought? You
Right.
could have genuinely made such a powerful movie.
I
Whether
agree.
it's a silly movie or it's a serious tragedy. I would prefer some kind of horror comedy in between, but
Right.
there's material, there's reference material you could have looked at
That's
to
true.
really give us something instead of this garbage which is empty.
Yeah.
That just makes
It's
me more
crazy to
sad
me,
about
like
it.
anybody outside of Marvel, like how they treat the comic books is very strange.
It's
to me,
nasty.
because you literally have years and years and years of source material and stories
Mhm.
and things to pull from, where like these are like lauded as great pieces of literature. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you just choose to not do that.
They treat them like
for
money
whatever
grabs.
reason that
That's
you,
it.
you know what I mean? Like at least like I love how Marvel like takes a lot of different pieces from different storylines
It makes their
and
own thing.
combines them together. Like they'll like other companies, they'll just take a piece and then twist it to make it fit whatever agenda that they have, and then it's like you just left with a horrible film,
Yep.
and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
like you just disrespected a character. You just
And it sucks because they'll make a second one. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, oh yeah, excuse me. You're like, y'all didn't like that? That don't matter to us. Like, you know what I mean? I did have a question about
Yeah.
what you were saying. Do y'all think either or that if the movie did do good or if the movie just was better quality in general, that they would have brought him into the MCU? Like, do you think that was the plan? And now they might be like, I don't know. You know, or do you think that
It was always from
This.
the
I mean,
beginning. Just
look at the quality of the Venom movies and how those have been received.
yeah.
They're
Good point.
they're kind of mixed. You know, some people hate them, some people really like them. They make money.
right?
They brought him into the MCU and they kicked him out right away.
You
Yeah.
never lied.
So what kind of Morbius movie would they have to make where they actually genuinely add him to the MCU?
Yeah.
They
So
not making that one.
Right.
Oh man.
I don't know. It would have to be some godly movie.
you ain't never lied, and it's not gonna be.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all right.
I'll tell you this though.
I'm
just
sad about it.
Connected to what Zen was saying about how other companies treat their characters. I'll tell you guys, I grew up a DC fan. I grew up with Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series.
Yes, yes.
When I was like a young teenager, I watched every episode of Smallville.
Right.
My first comics were like Batman Hush.
Right.
Like
Dope.
the first comic I read monthly was Court of Owls as it was coming out.
Wow. That's awesome.
First comic I read monthly. So I grew up deep in DC. And I didn't understand why Marvel was cool because I thought they were like just the second-rate knockoffs. You can't have Superman or Batman. Your company sucks. What are you doing?
Right. Right.
But what are we talking about today? What are we here to talk about?
It's so sad.
Yeah.
What am I passionate about today?
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
crazy, man.
I love DC and I love the potential.
Yes.
And you know, I love the Wonder Woman movie. You know, there's some criticisms, but I really
love the first
Wonder
one.
Woman movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The first one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Nolan series. I think Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill had so much potential
It did.
for their characters.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It feels like it's. I want to say it's wait and see how the DCU turns out, but it feels like it's been wait and see for the last 9 years.
No, literally. Like
Yeah.
since the Nolan series has been like, oh, what are y'all doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe this next one will be good. Maybe this next one will be great, and we've been saying that for 9 years.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Sometimes they surprise us. Like Aquaman, the visuals are stunning.
I agree.
The visuals
I
are amazing.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's an underrated film that they had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
All
sure.
right. So we have a lot of hot takes on this show sometimes.
Yeah, all the time. I feel like I'm
Yeah. So we wanted to ask you, what's your like Marvel MCU hot take?
Oh boy.
Oh, let's get in trouble. Come on, let's see it.
First, I'll start with a softball.
Okay.
Okay.
I recently watched Ghost Rider 1 for the first time because we went to see it when it came out, and I was like a kid, and my friend was like, "Hey, let's check out this Ghost Rider movie." It was his idea. Okay, his idea. We go to see it as kids, and he got scared in the opening.
Oh man.
So he's like, "No, we're out."
Okay.
And so we left the theater, and since then, like I never went back to watch it
Wow.
because it felt wrong to like my friend. I don't know.
Like you were disrespecting them a little bit. Like you ruined our experience
This
together.
was supposed to be our movie. We see
I
it
feel
together,
that.
man. And
I feel that.
I can't do it.
You're a good
Eventually,
friend.
I was like, man, it has been almost how many years? 20 years. Whatever. I'm gonna watch this Ghost Rider movie.
It's your time. It's your time.
So I watched it, and the first hour, I really like it. Actually, I love the style of it. I love what Nick Cage is doing, and I really I like the tragedy of it. The second hour, the plot takes over, and it's a garbage plot. The movie, whatever.
Yeah, it's bad.
But the style of it remains good. So the first hour of Ghost Rider, I will stand by that.
That's like, you know what? I like that take. It's like a half.
Nah, me too.
It's definitely a softball. I know what you're saying.
Because I remember seeing it when I was younger too, and I didn't have a problem with Ghost Rider.
I'm gonna be honest. I liked it. I'm one of those fans though that I like superheroes, y'all. I don't care what you give me. Even like I like the ones that I know are bad. You made me feel like I saw a vampire for a second. I would just I do want to watch it though. Is what I'm saying. So like I don't know. Like I enjoy something out of all these movies, even if they're hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I just don't remember Ghost Rider enough to judge it, but you make me want to go back because I enjoyed it, but I remember everyone being like, "This movie is trash," so I got to remember why now.
Because I just recently did like a rewatch of Blade. Like I did watch the Blade.
You did tell me that,
And like it was the same thing. Like Blade 1 and 2, I remember because we had those at my house, so I remember watching those a lot, especially Blade 2. But like I'd never seen Trinity like when I was younger, and this was the first time watching it, and I'm like, That movie wasn't great. But like overall, like I enjoyed seeing Blade on screen.
True though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was cool.
The first two are iconic though, so they
yeah,
did
no,
what
the
they
first
was
two
supposed to do.
good. Third
Yeah.
one, we all
Yeah.
know that was
True.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
All right, now
Guys,
it's
I just looked up Ghost Rider 1. It's like a 26 on Rotten Tomatoes.
okay.
I can't believe that. It's 26 and the audience is 48. I'm like, why? It's not that.
it is
know, I
really
don't- I
low.
don't
That's what
feel-
I'm saying.
Now, if they
I
talking about
don't
the
feel
second
that
one,
that
I can
hate is
understand, but the
Yeah,
first
me
one
too.
wasn't that bad.
For Ghost Rider, yeah, right. I forgot they made it 2.
Yeah.
Whoa, you just reminded
Yeah,
me
they
of
did
that.
make a second one.
Okay, but to get to the really spicy.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know how I don't know. So Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, hold on.
I've-
Don't do this take, because wait. You know what? I'm gonna where are you about to go?
Thor: The Dark World. I've only seen it once.
Okay.
I still haven't
And
seen it.
He's still
It was, I think it was when I started, like, so I didn't watch all the movies as they came out because I didn't care until Guardians. I didn't really care, so I skipped some of those earlier ones.
feel
in
that.
theaters.
Feel that.
So Thor: The Dark World was the last one when I was catching up,
Okay.
and I actually liked the romance of it.
Okay.
When he brings Jane to Asgard, and she meets his family.
No,
And
that was
like
nice.
they're this like weird Asgardian alien magic people, and she's just like, this normal white girl.
Yes.
And I don't know, there's something about that, like being like an Indian American, or like something about that, like when you bring a girl home who's from a different culture,
Right.
and she has to meet your family and like your weird cultures, your weird traditions.
Right.
We take our shoes off in this house, stuff
Right.
like that. And like I felt that. And this really terrible Thor movie, I really liked, like, bringing the girl home to meet the parents.
Yes.
And they're weird, but they kind of accept each other and they get to know each other. And there's something like charming about that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like the nervous fear, like, will they like her? And they get to like her. And I don't know. For me, I liked that part of the really bad movie.
You know what? Since you know what, we're family now.
Yeah.
So that was like half of a hot take.
No, because you made it a good take.
You made it one because I'm like, I know you. That's why I stopped you in the beginning. I'm like, I know you know this movie is Oscar the Grouch. Oh, I can't hear myself now. But the fact that you turned it around with the romance being good, like I want to,
Yeah.
you know what? You got it out of me.
Yeah.
It's fine. Because I thought he was going to say he disliked the movie, and I was like, whoa, that's hot take of the century. But it was the romance. I respect it.
But Thor 1, there's not a thing in that movie that was interesting to me. I think Thor 1 is one of the most boring Marvel movies.
I think that's why I never seen the second
No,
one.
you're
'Cause
right.
when I went to see Thor, I went to see Thor in the movies, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was cool. I mean, it's a Marvel movie. It ain't horrible.
Like, you
but
can watch it.
I wasn't enthused to go see Thor: The Dark World. I'm just like, all right, I seen the first one. All right,
Exactly.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's why the next Thor movie is probably going to be crazy because they're going to bring back Jane, and we've never had her interactions written from
Taika.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
hopefully so.
Yeah, nah, for
Where's
sure.
the trailer?
Right, oh my, I don't even want to ask for it anymore. It's like
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the movie to come out.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you
Exactly,
this.
yeah.
Since
Yeah.
we're talking about theories and stuff today, I was watching a YouTuber and they were talking and they just kind of dropped this theory. It was like, I don't really believe it, but what if they were just saying, what if, in Thor we have Gorr the God Butcher, he's dealing with gods and stuff like that. He's
Yeah,
killing gods.
Yeah.
What if they're waiting to show the trailer because somehow like Gorr has something to do with the end of Moon Knight? You know what I mean? Now I don't know. I'm not really
'Cause of the gods.
100% on that being true.
Yeah, I
but just
can
the
see
fact
that,
that you're
but-
dealing with gods, maybe
That could be sick,
He
though.
was just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
My rebuttal might be Spider-Man Far From Home got its trailer when Spider-Man was still dead,
I forgot all about that.
right?
That is true.
Wow.
That trailer came out before Endgame did.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man was still dead, and then they completely ignored that, and they just gave you this trailer about Spider-Man going to Europe.
I forgot
What?
all about that.
So-
So true.
I feel like, I mean, you could say, oh, well, Sony's behind that.
Right.
But I feel like I don't know. I feel like Marvel could finesse the trailer where it doesn't give away anything if they wanted to.
That's
You
true.
know, they
Because
have full control of that.
yeah,
It's a
they
good
take
point.
things out. Obviously,
All
we've
the
seen it in
time.
Doctor Strange trailer. They've taken people out of trailers. They moved things around. So you're right. Yeah, they're
I
absolutely
remember
right.
Infinity War. They had a whole scene in the trailer that just wasn't in the
movie.
movie. That was
Nah, that's
crazy.
facts.
No, that's a
We
good
forgot
point.
what we're dealing with. Because Marvel will just
They can do whatever they
they don't want you to know something. They're going to at least try to subvert what you're thinking.
With that theory, though, that would be dope, though. Like if Gorr the God Butcher just pulled up, like,
And just
hey,
killed
I'm trying
the
to.
Egyptian god or
Yeah,
something
that'd be
like that.
dope.
Something crazy.
Someone
I
said,
don't
well,
know.
what if Khonshu showed up in Thor? I was like, that'd be cool, too.
Yeah. That would be
Like
cool.
Gorr attempting to kill him, doesn't type of thing.
Right. It's like a weird Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's my only thing. I don't know if they're gonna connect a Moon Knight type of character to Thor.
Right.
Yeah,
Because they don't have any real connection in the comic books,
besides
right?
that.
Other than this God
The
connection.
God thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be dope, though.
I don't know. For me, I think it's exactly what Caesar was saying. I think it's a little bit strange if at the end of Moon Knight it becomes a Thor teaser.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if I feel that.
No, that's
I see it on paper. I see
Right.
I see the
Right.
dots.
The connection.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't know, man. I think the whatever tease we get, I feel like it would be more in the vein of like Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Or some kind of setup like that.
Right.
True.
Especially with that coming right behind it.
Yeah. Wait.
know?
Last
Yeah.
question, since we're on the Thor thing.
Mhm.
Do you think there's a reason, or like that's like a literal reason, or just they're maybe still working on it or whatever, that they're not dropping the trailer yet? Like, do you think there's something to that, or there's just literally they haven't dropped the trailer yet?
The only thought I have is during the No Way Home press, Feige said there was an interview he did where he said something like, "It feels really good right now that all the attention and all the excitement is for No Way Home." Because at this point in December, they hadn't released anything about Moon Knight. They hadn't released anything about Doctor Strange 2. Hawkeye was ending. So all the Marvel attention was just on No Way Home.
Right.
And Feige said, hey, this feels good. Everyone cares about our next project. No one's thinking like 3 years ahead or 6 months ahead. Everyone's focused on this next movie. And then No Way Home broke world records during a pandemic, during the Omicron crisis.
Right.
So I feel maybe that's motivated them to take it more like one movie at a time.
Got it.
However, No Way Home came out like 6 months before Doctor Strange.
Right.
True.
Thor comes out 2 months after.
That's all.
So I don't know if that logic is one to one.
Right.
I've had this thought that what if it's the post credits of Doctor Strange?
That's what people were saying.
That would be
I don't want them to
evil.
keep doing that. That'd be so mean. Don't do that to us every
'cause
time.
I would like an actual post
But
credit
I'm
scene.
feeling that way now. It's just like y'all not giving it to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You saw people started trying to analyze their picture with the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Like with their
People
fingers,
are so
like-
thirsty, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
they
they're
just want it
breaking
so
down
bad.
Every little thing, just to
Bananas.
figure things out.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they're not.
No.
That don't have anything to do with this trailer.
Not
but
at all. Yeah.
I get it though. Like
For sure, we just need it. We need
want
it. Is all.
We just want it.
Yeah.
Caesar, to your question about or if they're done with it, I was actually listening to a podcast recently. I think it was the Art of the Cut series,
Okay.
and they interviewed an actual trailer editor who's worked with Marvel before.
Cool.
And he gets all into the details of how they make it. And apparently, it takes a couple months to make a trailer.
Wow.
I had no idea. They start with as the movie's filming, they take the dailies, the daily footage,
Right.
even footage like before any post-production, before any effects, just straight from the camera. You
Okay.
can hear the director talking.
Wow.
That raw. They take that footage, then they put it all together, and they say, all right, here's all our explosions here. Here's all our funny stuff here.
Okay.
They organize it like that.
Huh.
Then they take their song. They say, here's our song, and then they start putting the scenes like that
Whoa.
as the movie is still filming.
It's
Then
like
they
a
take
puzzle.
that. Then they get some notes from the director. They get notes from an executive. They get notes from a producer. Everyone approves it. They move it up the chain, all the way up to the head of the studio. So of course, every movie is going to be different. Every studio is going to run different. But this is coming from a guy who's worked with Marvel for multiple movies. And so it's a month-long process. And sometimes he said you'll spend a month on a version, and then they'll throw away that version and they'll use another version. So it's a huge process to make these 1 minute, 2 minute trailers.
Yeah.
Because this has to get the audience.
That's
Right,
true.
right,
There's
right,
so
right.
much
So-
going into it. Yeah.
because the trailer can make or break. You know how your movie
You ain't
does.
never lied. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So there is more to the trailer than we realize. I don't see any excuse why. Man, it's April.
That's all. That's like,
nah, that's right, man.
like I almost thought there was some secret or something about it
Right.
because it's just taking so
I
long.
guess that's why
I'm
people are just speculating so much about it. It's just like, yo, like this ain't really happened before.
Yeah, that's all.
What are you hiding?
Right? It's like y'all got something in there.
Right.
It's something.
Right.
But nah, I definitely think it's to what you said. I feel like they realize they don't really also need to.
Yeah, they're
do
Marvel
that,
money
yeah.
studios.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want. On
Right.
top of it is Disney. Like they're like, we're cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Like-
and I was saying this before, like, I mean, I'm a Marvel person. We're Marvel people. They don't have to show me anything.
Right. I'm
Honestly,
you got my
Like,
money.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm
Either
gonna
way.
pull up and go see it.
Yes.
But like, you know, obviously for people who aren't super invested into it,
Yeah.
you know, they might not. They're gonna need to bring those people in
Yeah.
to make their money back.
Right.
But also, I'm thinking, obviously, Thor is the first character to have a fourth movie. as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So he's might be. I mean, you would think he's higher up in the well known as far as people who
True.
aren't super into like comic book movies.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
they know Thor when they hear the name.
True.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that'll factor into it as well.
It
But
could.
I'm just hoping we get it soon.
Because also Ragnarok was pretty big for them too.
Yeah.
Like I remember that.
Yeah.
So that could be it. Like people they just know. You know what I mean?
I think it's awesome. Oh, no, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, do you guys think Jane will stick around after this movie, or do you think it's like a one and done?
Oh, she's here to stay.
All right, so she's the new Thor.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
Thor. She's Thor.
Yeah.
Like to the point,
Because-
I think he might. I'm sorry. I think he might stay alive maybe for a little bit, or I mean,
Yeah.
they might not ever kill him off. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
he might stay for another big event, and then he's out of here. I think, honestly.
Yeah.
But I just
Are-
think
are
they're
you-
trying to make a new version of all of these characters. Like they're just gonna, you know,
Pushing
like
forward.
yeah, just pass the baton to each one eventually. Like
Right.
eventually, we might not even have Peter. We might just have Miles one day.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Right.
Are you guys familiar with her cancer storyline from the comics?
a little bit.
Yeah, same.
I know
Yeah.
the basis of the plot. Yes.
Yeah. So the most interesting thing I think, like conceptually,
Mhm.
is that when she turns into Thor, it undoes her chemotherapy.
Wow.
So her cancer goes backwards every time she turns into Thor.
Oh wait, are you saying that when she isn't Thor, she still has cancer though?
Of course, yeah.
Whoa.
I'm interested to see like when I found out that that's gonna be the plot line. I'm really interested to see how like Taika handles that
Yeah.
on film because that's gonna be hard to watch. A lot of that, you know what I
That's
mean?
deep,
Like
yeah.
her dealing with cancer, her finding out she has cancer, and then when she finds out the Thor thing and what you just said about it reversing, that's gonna be heartbreaking, bro.
Yeah.
Like you've
Yeah.
been spending all this time, you know.
They haven't confirmed the cancer though.
Exactly.
It's,
Okay.
it's so weird. Like when the movie was announced and stuff, they asked Taika, and he was like, I don't know, we're still
Yeah,
figuring
he
it out.
swerved around
We'll see
a
what
little bit. I
happens.
remember
Right.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
And so and like all this toy stuff, all the marketing, nothing mentions it.
That's
You're
true.
right.
So
That's
I'm
true.
saying, if you don't do cancer, that's a huge disservice
Right.
True.
to the character and to like what it means to audiences.
Right.
And we all know somebody who's dealt with that. You
True.
know,
True.
don't take that away. We
Yeah,
need that.
you're right because they've never done. I don't think they've even touched cancer as a topic in Marvel
No,
before, right?
no.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a big
is.
miss if they don't.
And so that's such a huge erasure. It's such a huge disservice if they don't do that.
It's true.
Secondly, though, the reason I was asking if she stays because she has a limited timeline if they follow that story.
Mm.
And so in the comics, though, you know, everyone dies and comes back. So Jane has her thing, and after she's Thor, now she has this new life. She's now a Valkyrie. You know, like there's Tessa Thompson Valkyrie.
Right.
Jane
Right.
also becomes a
Mhm,
Valkyrie.
mhm.
That's her new role.
Okay.
But I don't know what the comics. I don't know what the movies will do and
Right,
how
they're
strictly
gonna
they'll follow it.
Go
but
there.
I feel like if you're gonna do this cancer thing, that has to have stakes and that has to have meaning. And I feel like it can't just end with, oh, she's cured, she's better, she's magic now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
That's
like
true.
that's not. That takes away from what cancer is.
Right.
Literally.
No,
yeah.
for
So I don't know. We'll see what they do, how they handle it, where they go. I hope she stays, but I hope they also, you know, handle things well.
Yeah.
Nah,
I
for
hope
sure.
so. Like I trust, you know what I mean? I trust Tyke, you know,
Absolutely.
so
yeah.
we'll see. But you're right. If they don't do that, y'all gonna have to write. He's gonna have to write something.
Did you guys see Jojo Rabbit?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
I love that
I
movie.
love
So
movie.
that's such a good example of how he can do something funny
Yes.
and freaking tragic at
Yeah.
the same
Mhm.
time.
At the
Yeah.
same time.
So you know,
right. So
complete
there's
faith
hope.
in him.
Me
Yeah.
too.
For sure.
Me too.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Sure. All right.
Good stuff.
Let me see what we got next.
What do you guys think about the Gorr costume from whatever we've seen?
You want to go first? I'll go first because I already see your face.
I
don't dislike it,
Yeah.
but he does look like Voldemort, like he does. But so you made a very good point.
Yeah.
You said that people were saying that if he didn't have the nose, like if they took the nose away,
Yeah.
he would look more like Voldemort. So
Yeah.
maybe that's. It's almost like I don't know if they could do anything about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you think about Infinity War, there was that character, I think, Corius Grave, I think.
Yeah.
The Squidward-looking guy.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
Who looked
you already-
Voldemortish too, a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe Marvel was like, how many times can people see this?
That's true.
So we know Voldemort, and Voldemort had like a snake nose. And we
Yes.
have this Corius Grave guy who just no nose
No
at all.
nose. Mm-hmm.
Hell, we already have Groot who doesn't have a nose.
At all,
Yeah.
right? Just face.
So maybe they're like, all right, we have Christian Bale, whatever, he can have his nose.
That's what someone was like.
I don't know.
Someone made a really funny tweet. They were like, "I respect the fact that Marvel was like, y'all gonna know that we got Christian Bale in this movie." I was like, you know what? Y'all did that.
Nah, that's
y'all
right.
did that.
That's
Fine.
right.
Fine.
Yeah.
What you think
no,
about it? Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like,
Oh, okay.
you
You're
know,
not bothered?
I mean, I've seen the pictures of him from the comic book. So
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
see
yeah.
the obvious differences to it.
Right.
But you know, Marvel always makes adjustments to
For
characters
sure.
when they bring him in the live action form.
Yeah.
And I also know that when we see him on screen in a
Right,
movie,
it's not gonna look the way that
different,
we-
even more
yeah,
different
for
than
sure.
what we've seen on the toy box.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I'm just excited to really make a judgment once we finally see
For sure.
him on. You know,
I just want to see him in action.
nah, facts.
Especially Christian Bale playing him. I don't like forget. I'm aware that he's in it, but I almost forget that it's Christian Bale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would never expect him to do a Marvel movie or really even any
Superhero
type of this. Yeah, like just this
Since-
realm.
yeah,
like
Batman.
since he did Batman.
Bro was
so-
Batman. He was
Right?
Batman.
Like you don't gotta come back, bro.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's here, I'm just excited to see how they go about this.
Nah, right.
Yeah.
And you know, his Batman was such like a serious,
Yeah.
grounded, human Batman.
The complete
He-
opposite.
of Taika Waititi.
Yes, yes.
And this looks like just like the brightest, craziest, silliest
Like,
Thor movie,
literally.
Marvel movie.
Yeah.
What is Christian Bale doing?
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like I think of Ragnarok,
Yeah.
I think of colors.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yes,
see
sir.
Christian
that
Bale. I
Ragnarok
think
is
of
very
Christian Bale. I'm
colorful.
like Batman. Like it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, no, I'm excited though.
Nah,
For
for
sure.
sure. For sure. So I don't know. We can't get it soon enough, I'm assuming. Because everybody's
yeah.
clamoring for this.
What are your other theories for Doctor Strange 2? What do you hope will happen?
Oh,
What do you think
okay.
will happen?
You want to go first or second? I went first last time.
Go
I got
first, go
okay.
first, go first.
So I need her to give us mutants. I don't care.
Oh, that was
if she
mine.
doesn't,
That's
I know.
crazy.
Say
I
that
know.
again? Say that again?
I need her to give us mutants.
Mm.
Like I
Yeah.
need a House
I
of
honestly
MS
feel
thing.
like I was talking about the pump fakes earlier. Like I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, we need mutants by the end of this movie. By the end,
What you gonna do if not?
We
You
need
gonna-
an Easter egg or something.
You gonna go to Kevin's house if he don't do
I might.
it?
I'm
You
gonna write a
should.
letter or
You
an email
should.
or something. Like, bro, come on, what are you doing? Come on, please.
At the Cosmic Circus, my friend Alex, who's one of our head, he is our head writer actually.
Wow.
He had this theory. I don't know if you guys saw it, but this theory was like the reason why we haven't seen mutants, like canonically in universe, the
Mhm,
story reason we haven't
mhm.
seen mutants or Fantastic Four, is because Kang didn't want that for this timeline.
Oh.
So he
Why would
his
I have never
theory-
thought of that?
His theory was like Kang. I don't know if you guys know who Grant Morrison is. He was a DC writer,
Yeah.
and he liked to
Mhm.
make the editor part of the story, the writer
Mm.
part of the very meta. So Alex's theory is like Kang is like a Grant Morrison figure, where he is the
Get what you're
editor
saying.
controlling what
Yes.
appears, what doesn't appear. And so canonically, he's the reason we haven't gotten certain characters, or maybe certain origins could be different. Whatever
That's
the
so
changes are,
dope.
Kang is the one,
Honestly, I
making
would love
those.
that if that's true though.
Yeah.
Like that would not bother me at all. Like
Bruh,
let's say if we
if
didn't
that-
get it
yeah.
in this movie and then somewhere we find that out, I would lose my
Right.
mind.
That's insane.
That's a
bro.
crazy
Like I
theory,
never
wow.
thought about that.
At all. I
Yeah.
would have
Like,
never
but that
expected.
makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does.
Because he really was like chopping timelines. Like,
And
nah,
to
we-
be honest, it's the Loki connection too. Like that's still a part of Doctor Strange. So that's a crazy theory.
that would be insane.
That'd be nuts.
nah,
That'd be
facts.
nuts.
But that's my wish for that.
Oh, no, I might got some more. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. We're definitely. It's hard to say because we hear like rumors of what's going to happen. You hear leaks and stuff, so you don't actually know what to say and what to go off sometimes.
Right.
Because that's the biggest one. It's just like we just want
Yeah.
mutants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean,
But-
I think at this point I've kind of tempered my expectations for cameos. Because we've heard this person's going to be in the movie, then we heard this person's not going to
Like,
be
I
in
don't
the
even care anymore. Just show me
I don't,
them.
bro. Like,
let me
at one
see.
point, I was like obsessed with like who's gonna be in it, but at this point, I'm just like, I'm happy with whatever they give us.
Yeah.
Just give us mutants. That's all I want.
That's it. You don't even have to show me one. You don't have
Just
to
let
show
me know
me
they're
one.
alive in
Just
there.
let me know
That's
they
it.
exist. That's it.
We pretty much know Xavier's in it, right?
Yes.
Right.
So there you go. You're happy, mutant.
Stop it. Don't do that to me, man. That's not enough. We know he probably about to get his head chopped off.
Yeah,
I'm
Wanda's
not.
not- I don't
I
really-
need them to stay. But my thing is like, all right, let's say if it's not that, I don't think we're going to get this, but I would love if we had some type of connection to Magneto and Wanda in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they want to even go all the way there, if they're not even trying to do that with mutants yet. That's a lot. That's deep. Undo to do that.
To make
I
that make
understand,
sense,
but that'd be so cool if it was just like a little,
Or even
just
if
a
he's from a
line.
different
You know what I mean?
universe
Just a
and
little
that
Easter egg,
universe-
though.
And that maybe he's from different universe, and in that universe,
That's what I'm
Wanda
saying.
is his
And
daughter,
like
and
in his
he sees
universe-
her, and it's like, yo, what are you doing?
That
And
easy.
she's like, what? I don't.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't
That's
know
all
you,
I
sir.
want. Something really light. Because then after that, you don't even got to explain
Right.
anymore. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, in this universe, that's not the case. In another one, it is. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it's
But
a
that'd be
good
cool.
theory.
Yeah.
Even in the comics, they're always going. I think currently they've undone it where he's not her father anymore.
No way.
But I don't know, man. There with Wanda's theory, with Wanda's backstory, she has like 3 or 4 at least different origins.
Wow,
It's so
okay.
confusing to try to
That makes
follow
sense,
it.
though.
So
She's such a
I feel
complex
like-
character. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about her midwife was a cow,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't
Boba?
know that.
And all that. Yeah.
so I
What?
don't. Wanda's she's a cool character, and they've never really done her service in the comics. Recently, there was a story called The Darkhold. It was a big event,
Mhm.
and at the end, they finally, Steve Orlando is the writer, and Wanda wins, and she beats Doctor Doom, and she's really triumphant. She's powerful. She's like, in her control of her life for once. And so she beats Chithan, whatever his name is, she beats him. She like absorbs the power of the Darkhold so that she can contain it. So it won't mess with her anymore. So she's
That's-
like ultimate Scarlet
That's
Witch.
amazing. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Marvel killed her right after that.
Oh wow.
Trial of Magneto, she dies.
That's crazy.
Oh, they better not do that now. Don't you
Yeah.
dare touch Wanda like that. Why would they do that?
That's
Wow.
crazy.
I mean, that's crazy writing, though. Like, that's like, woo, But, like, at the
Yeah.
same time, don't give her everything she ever wanted.
And then just take
They're
it
going to
all
Iron
away.
Man her. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like with Wanda, like life is hard for Wanda. fans.
Yeah,
It seems very
always.
seems.
So-
This is real dark. It's real
Yeah.
dark in her world.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's wild.
Y'all done made her watch her husband. She'd have murdered her husband
She
just
done
to save the world.
mad
Then had to
times.
watch him. And then y'all gonna kill her when she gets all her
How many
powers.
times has Vision died now in the movie?
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe it's 4. I don't actually know. At this point, he a whole new Vision. Like I don't know.
Nah,
She
facts.
loses like her parents. She loses her brother. She loses her boyfriend. Then he comes back. She loses them again.
She lost her kids.
She lost her kid. Then her boyfriend husband comes back, but he's like
Her boyfriend
a
husband.
lifeless,
No.
a lifeless robot.
Oh,
like the White Vision. Like
yes.
that's not her vision, man.
At all.
Yeah.
He's gone. What?
Yeah. So
Oh, she a single
know.
mother
Her
now.
life is
She
hard, man.
wasn't before. She out. She's struggling. This is
Nah,
horrible.
that's wild.
We got
man.
somebody
And
got to
you-
hug
and you
Wanda
wonder
in one
why
of these
she's
movies.
wilding out.
Somebody better give her a hug in this movie. I'm not playing. She deserved one. That's
Yeah.
nuts. That's
No,
nuts.
facts.
Well, now that we're on it, real quick, just we're
Mhm,
here. When do you think's the next time we're gonna see White Vision? We're not gonna not see him again.
Nah, for sure.
You know?
I have no idea where that story could go.
Mm.
One idea is that right now they have a lot of West Coast Avenger characters.
I heard about
So,
that. Yeah.
so like West Coast Avengers, there's different iterations of the team,
Mm.
but at different times, like Moon Knight was on the West Coast Avengers in the 80s.
Whoa.
In recent times, you had like I think America on the West Coast Avengers, America Chavez.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kate Bishop on the West Coast Avengers.
Sick.
So, but like that wasn't the same iteration as like Moon Knight, for example.
Right.
That was a different team.
Right. Got you.
But-
Got you.
And Vision was on it, I think, the same time as Moon Knight. So you
Word.
have
That'd
some of
be
the
cool.
80s West Coast Avengers, you have some of the modern West Coast Avengers.
Mhm.
Could they be doing some weird
Maybe.
mashup? I don't know, man.
That'd be dope.
Nah.
That would be dope.
Nah, super dope.
There's potential there for them to do something, but right now I feel like Marvel's kind of they're just kind of putting all their pieces on the table,
Yes.
and maybe later they'll figure out what goes where. But right now, I just feel like
I
especially
definitely
with,
think that's
like,
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you look at like Star Fox and Arrows, Star Fox and Arrows from Eternals.
Yep,
Like,
mhm.
what are they doing? I
They're
feel
just
like Marvel's
throwing around stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
with
just
you.
seeing here, and then later, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, it's
Right.
almost
Who
like they're
knows
trying
what
to
they're
see
doing.
throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks a little bit.
I was saying this
But
when
in a way that works, in a smart
Oh,
way.
100%. In
No,
a
for
quality
sure.
way at that,
Nah,
too.
it does.
Yeah.
Not Morbius.
Oh, every time you bring them back, I feel like I seen a vampire. Like my shoulders get tense. I don't like it. Somebody got to do something with that movie.
Nah, that's facts. Nah, I was even saying like, you know, when this phase started, I was saying after Endgame and Infinity War, I'm like, I feel like they're all back at square one again,
Yeah.
and they're introducing so many different things to the universe. It's gonna be a while before like we get like the teams again. I
Yeah,
think.
you're right. Like,
I mean,
like
I
the
don't
smaller
think it'll
team
be
ups
as
you're
long
saying. Yeah.
than we had before, but like. I feel like people are forgetting that we're in like a rebuilding introduction phase. Again.
Yeah,
Right,
for
'Cause
sure.
we got a lot of
for
new
sure.
people involved. Like Moon
Yeah,
Knight
there's
is
a lot of
brand
people
new.
they
Like,
gotta
there's so many
introduce.
new characters.
Isn't it crazy that they're like they're introducing characters that if you aren't a comic fan, you don't know, like a Moon Knight, you know what I mean?
Right.
To an extent, even like Guardians, like
Right.
people didn't know as much. But then you also got like you're about to bring Fantastic Four finally here. Like it's wild how much they gotta juggle
Right.
at one time. It's
Right.
crazy.
I just can't wait till like we see more interactions because that's my favorite part about these movies. Like seeing these different characters that we watch. We're watching Moon Knight right now, and his world is Egyptian. It's Egyptian gods. It's things going on like that, and then you got Captain Marvel over here that's on some totally different cosmic level, and then you throw them in a room, and how do they? What's their conversation?
Like what's that like? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be honest, we might. I don't know if it's a possibility that one day we might get so used to that, like that it's so normal. Because Marvel, Marvel's gonna be around for. Sorry, you don't even know how long. So like, but for forever it seems,
Right.
So because of that, like, it could be a point like 20 years, 30 years from now where it's not even it's not even considered a cameo to have. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like Spider-Man has a movie, and here's all the Defenders just walking down the street, but we're not even looking at it like anything. It's just like, oh yeah,
of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Eventually, because there's so many, we just might get so used to it. They have 12 movies. You know what I mean? So
and just to piggyback off of that, and knowing that you love Blade so much, like when I did the rewatch of the Blade films, and I actually went back. I know you were talking about the anime Blade. I watched that as well recently, and like I'm just excited to see Blade interact with different characters too. Because I mean, obviously we've seen Blade before,
right?
When the MCU didn't have their hands on him, and now like we're gonna be able to see a version who can talk to Spider-Man or can talk to
sick.
Falcon that we've never seen.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome just to be able to see like these characters that have history in other places.
Yes.
Now in the MCU, being able to talk and be involved with each other.
It's the coolest thing.
Speaking of Blade and Falcon, in like 2017, there was a 9-issue run of Falcon. This is right after he's Captain America. He quits being Captain America, goes back to Falcon, and it's just this 9-issue run. It is one of my favorite comics I've read recently. It is so good. The first arc, he's dealing with like gang violence, but it's also connected to like Mephisto.
What?
So you have this
crazy.
really weird like supernatural like demon shit. Would you have also this real political gang violence?
Right. Whoa.
And so like for somebody like us who like we love the supernatural stuff, but we're also like, we're living in the 21st century. We know what's going on in the world. So like it's so cool to read a book that puts everything together. And it has great art, it has great writing. That's the first arc. The second arc focuses on Blade. Deacon Frost comes back. And so it's just 9 issues. And it's really, really, really good.
Yeah. I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
Man, I always wanted to get more into comics. I just didn't know where to find them. Do you guys like actually have comics still and read them, or do you go online and read like issues online?
Yeah, so now I read digitally. I used to buy a lot. I had a really good used bookstore in my hometown, and I would go there and like everything's like half off.
Oh, sick! That's
right?
so
And
clutch.
so if you look for a used bookstore, you can usually find stuff for good prices. Barnes and Noble has good sales on their website. Like every couple months, they'll do like a buy 2 get 1.
Cool.
Wow.
For example.
That's fine.
and like Amazon, everyone uses Amazon. So there's ways to get comics physically, but like even use Marvel Unlimited, for example, you can read almost everything digitally.
Oh wow. Okay,
That's
cool.
fire.
For example, yeah.
Yeah, I def got to.
Yeah. I used to go like this. We had a flea market in Berlin, farmers market. They had a bookstore in there, and I would always go and just grab a comic, grab a magazine, and you know
That's
what I mean.
dope.
So that kind of a lot of my collection got lost over the years, but like I still have a few Jones at my crib, and
Right. No, that's fire.
Yeah.
I got it.
I really want to get back into it though, especially since we've been so deep in this
Yeah,
stuff.
and honestly, because like I got a son, so like if showing him comics and getting him more excited growing up, and then when he sees the Marvel movies, he's gonna have it more than me. You know what I mean?
No,
That'd be super cool.
No, for sure.
That'd be cool.
I got one last.
Anytime you guys want recommendations, or you like, I want to read a comic, where do I start?
Yeah, I'll
Just
definitely
hit
let
me
you
up,
know.
man. I'll help you guys out.
Cool, thank you, man. No,
That's awesome.
that would help a lot. Thank you.
For sure. Because like one thing it's knowing the runs and like what comes after that, after this. Sometimes it's hard to figure it out. But yeah, we'll definitely be tapping in with you, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to touch on with these reading guides. Where these reading guides, like here's a nice place for you to start. Here's kind of your playlist of like what you need to hit. And then here's like some extended stuff if you want more of something. But here like for Moon Knight, for example, my modern Moon Knight, I said start with the 2014 run because that's where he becomes Mr. Knight.
Got you. Okay.
And so
so they didn't have Mr. Knight before that.
No, sir. 2014. He's brand new.
That's super cool.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that modern Moon Knight reading guide starts with Mr. Knight, and then right after that you have 2016 Lemire.
Gotcha.
And that is the run that the show is pulling so much from.
Cool.
So 2014 you have the Mr. Knight. 2016 you have Lemire. Those are like your big two, really, for Moon Knight. It's really easy. You could read those in a weekend.
Yeah.
All right. And then you told me they were really short, right?
Yeah.
Word.
And then once you do that, look, man, now you've read the most important Moon Knight comics.
Right.
Now you are a certified Moon Knight scholar. That's
true, man. Right. That's what.
Just spend like a day.
Then I can hang out with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. Just spend a day or 2 days, and then you've done it. You've read the source material. Legit. You are now like as qualified a Moon Knight scholar as the rest of us.
This is true.
Right. Because you've done the work. You've looked. You've done your homework, and you're good now.
Yeah. Man, this is how I get in with Kevin. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do exactly what you said. Become a scholar. Oh man, I'm excited about it. You don't even know.
No, that's crazy. No, I got one last question for you, man. This is, one thing I think we all, as Marvel fans, have been recently wanting to know. What? Do you think Mephisto will ever?
Oh my God!
will ever appear in the MCU?
You do?
I do.
Oh.
Because as they're getting more into the supernatural stuff, the demonic stuff, I feel like you have to do that. Especially if you're gonna get into Ghost Rider. How do you do Ghost Rider without the devil?
That's actually
that doesn't work.
That's true. And they're definitely Ghost Riders. So.
Yeah, for sure.
True.
But it'll be really funny how they respond to the Mephisto stuff.
Right. Right.
Marvel's smart.
Yeah.
No Way Home, we had the meme. These people are meta.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
the
they
meme,
they see everything that we. They see it. They see it.
They will respond to it, and I think they'll respond in a tongue-in-cheek way.
Nah,
for
definitely.
So it'll be fun, whatever they do, whenever they do. But I think for sure.
Honestly, they might wait till like Ghost, they might wait till a Ghost Rider.
It's been funny how it's been such an ongoing.
Joke
First, it started as a real thing, and then it's just been this ongoing joke since WandaVision that like everybody in the community is just like, is it Mephisto? Like, is this
right.
It's so crazy.
No,
man.
it is fun.
Yeah. But man.
Yeah, man.
That was it.
I don't know. We just want to thank you again, man, for taking the time with us.
This has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
so much fun.
We really appreciate you, man. We thank you for the support, and it's awesome though. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for having me.
Nah,
sure,
definitely.
If you want to talk again too,
let us know. We definitely got to do this again, bro.
Link up.
And if you want to just plug anything that you got out right now and
please.
coming, just so people can check it out.
So my biggest plug right now is check out the Cosmic Circus. Check out all our fun theories or speculation. We have scoops. We have what I heard, which they're not like confirmed exclusives, but when we have like a legit source or someone we trust who tells us something, and we're like, I'm pretty sure this is it.
Cool.
But so check out our site. Check out Lizzie's work. Check out Alex's work. We have Tucker, Brian, Anthony, Isla. We have such a good group of writers there. We have our own podcast, The Cosmic Circle, and especially my work. I'm working a lot right now on these reading guides to help people get into comics and the characters they're interested in. Right now, we have a Doctor Strange reading guide, a Darkhold reading guide, Scarlet Witch, Jane, Thor, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel.
Oh, I gotta dig in.
And we have we have a bunch more on the way too.
Cool.
So if you like comics, if you like Marvel, if you like Marvel, we all like Marvel here.
Right.
So you know, just check out our site, give us a hit,
Definitely.
and
Definitely.
keep doing what you do, guys. Love your show.
Thank you so much,
man.
bro.
We appreciate
Thank you
you.
so much.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was Listen 3000, episode 8.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we'll be back again next week, man.
Sure.
Make sure to follow us on everything. Subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And yeah.
And yeah. Have a good day.